You are listening to the story, A New Beginning in London. Let's listen and practice your English listening skill. You can shadow to practice your speaking too. Now let's start. Chapter 1, The Arrival. Sarah stepped off the plane and pulled her coat tighter around her. The air in London was colder than in Madrid, her hometown. As she walked through the airport, she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. This was her first time living alone in another country. At the baggage carousel, she waited patiently for her suitcase. Around her, people were speaking in different languages: English, French, Arabic, and others she couldn't recognize. When her blue suitcase finally arrived, she took a deep breath and walked toward the signs for the underground. The train station was busy, but Sarah had prepared well. She had a small map in her coat pocket and a travel card already loaded with credit. She had watched several YouTube videos about using the tube, but still, everything felt new. She followed the signs and boarded the train toward North London. On the train, she sat quietly, watching people come and go. Some read newspapers, others looked at their phones. A young man sitting next to her nodded politely. "First time in London?" he asked with a friendly smile. "Yes," Sarah replied. "I just arrived today." "Welcome. It's a big city, but you'll like it," he said. Sarah smiled back. His kind words made her feel a little more comfortable. After 45 minutes, she arrived at her stop. Her new apartment was just a 10-minute walk from the station. It was a small studio on the second floor of an old building. The stairs were narrow, and the door was heavy. But when she opened it, she smiled. The room was clean, warm, and filled with light from a small window. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. She sat on the bed and looked around. A small kitchen, a table for two, a bed in the corner, and a bookshelf with a few books. She unpacked her clothes and placed a photo of her family on the desk. The picture made her feel a little closer to home. That evening, Sarah walked around the neighborhood. She found a small supermarket, a coffee shop, and a tiny park. She bought some pasta and vegetables for dinner and returned home. Cooking helped her relax. She listened to English music as she cooked and practiced new words in her head. After dinner, she opened her notebook and wrote, "Day 1 in London, cold weather, kind stranger on the train, new apartment. I'm scared, but I'm excited too." She went to bed early. Tomorrow would be her first day at her new job. Chapter 2, First Days at Work. Sarah woke up early on her first workday in London. Her alarm rang at 6:30 a.m. and she jumped out of bed, a mix of excitement and nerves filling her chest. She had laid out her clothes the night before, a navy blue blouse and black trousers, simple but professional. She made herself some toast and tea, then checked the directions to her office one more time. It was only 2 stops on the tube, and the building was right next to the station. Easy, she thought. But in a new city, even simple things can feel like an adventure. At 8:15 a.m., she left her apartment and walked to the station. The streets were busy, with people in suits, children in school uniforms, and cyclists riding fast between cars. Everything moved quickly in London. Sarah tried to keep up. When she arrived at the office, a tall glass building with automatic doors, she took a deep breath before going inside. The receptionist smiled as she entered. "Good morning. Can I help you?" "Yes," Sarah said. "My name is Sarah Martin. I'm starting work today, marketing department." The woman checked her computer. "Yes, of course. Please take the lift to the 3rd floor. Someone will meet you there." On the 3rd floor, a young woman with short curly hair greeted her with a bright smile. "Hi, Sarah. I'm Emma. I'm your team leader. Welcome." Emma gave her a quick tour of the office: open desks, quiet meeting rooms, a kitchen with coffee and tea, and a lounge area with colorful bean bags. Sarah noticed that everyone looked busy but friendly. People smiled at her as they passed. They arrived at Sarah's desk, near a large window that overlooked the street. "You'll sit here," Emma said. "This is Alex, and that's Priya, they're in marketing too." Hi, Sarah said shyly. Hey, Alex said, waving. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the team. Priya added. Good morning. Can I help you? Yes, Sarah said. My name is Sarah Martin. I'm starting work today, marketing department. The woman checked her computer. Yes, of course. Please take the lift to the 3rd floor. Someone will meet you there. On the 3rd floor, a young woman with short curly hair greeted her with a bright smile. Hi, Sarah. I'm Emma. I'm your team leader. Welcome. Emma gave her a quick tour of the office, open desks, quiet meeting rooms, a kitchen with coffee and tea, and a lounge area with colorful bean bags. Sarah noticed that everyone looked busy but friendly. People smiled at her as they passed. They arrived at Sarah's desk, near a large window that overlooked the street. You'll sit here, Emma said. This is Alex, and that's Priya, they're in marketing too. Hi, Sarah said shyly. Hey, Alex said, waving. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the team. Priya added. Emma showed Sarah her email account, company tools, and how to use the printer. There was a lot to learn, but Sarah took notes and asked questions when she didn't understand something. Everyone was patient and helpful. At noon, Priya invited her to join them for lunch. The team went to a sandwich shop nearby. As they walked, they talked about the weather, it had started to rain, the best places to get coffee, and funny things that had happened in the office last week. Sarah mostly listened, but she smiled and laughed when she could. Understanding natural conversation was harder than she expected. People spoke fast and used slang. But she focused on the words she knew and guessed the meaning from context. You'll get used to it, Priya said kindly when she saw Sarah struggling to follow. Londoners speak fast, but you'll catch up quickly. I hope so. It's very different from school English. Totally, Alex said. But you're doing great. That afternoon, Sarah worked on her first small task, updating a client list in a spreadsheet. It wasn't hard, but it helped her get used to the system and the language. At the end of the day, Emma stopped by her desk. Well done today, Sarah. You've made a great start. Thank you, Sarah said, feeling proud but tired. On the way home, she stopped by the supermarket and bought some food for the week. She also treated herself to a small chocolate bar. You survived your first day, she said to herself with a smile. At home, she made dinner and listened to a podcast in English. She had a small notebook where she wrote new words and phrases she heard. Today's list included, lift elevator. Cheers, thank you or goodbye. To be swamped, to be very busy. Before bed, she wrote in her journal again, day 2, first day at work. Everyone is kind. I'm tired but happy. I want to improve my English fast. One day at a time.